Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is my DeSci IPT, aka the DeSci Microcap watch list. Today, I'm going to go over some of these coins with you, just like we did while I was away traveling on my phone, but more in a structured manner. I'm very excited. We'll go through a bunch of the DeSci updates, as a lot of the coins on this list are absolutely ripping from the last time we talked about them on live. Now, they're extremely small market caps, so that is to be expected, but you can see here that Art is up 83% just today. Isaac is up 40%. Just today. We got Gossi up 50%. We got Eggs up 47%. We got Bill up 14%. Riff and Euro up 15 and 13% respectively. I'm super excited for today's live stream. Hopefully you guys are as well. It's good to be back in the office and ready to rock it. Let's go. Wild Africa says that D-Wave is also booming. Let's go check D-Wave real quick. I'm sure it is performing really well today. Damn, up to $17. This is a neuromorphic quantum computing company. It is traded on the NASDAQ, not a crypto, but rather a stock. And just 6 months ago, you could have got this thing for under $1. It's now sitting at $17. $3 billion market cap. It is sending. So this is what I'm hoping Dynex does here in the short term. Hopefully pretty soon we get that crazy rally as people realize that Dynex is a top contender. But that's not on the watch list right now. Right now we're talking about the micro caps within DeSci. This watch list is going to make tons of millionaires. Honestly, this watch list is going to outperform almost every other watch list in the market. I know it's a little bit riskier. People are not super comfortable with it, but the coins on this watch list you can scoop for disgustingly discounted prices right now. Market caps are way too low for what they hold. And yeah, we'll go through them. We'll go through some of the pump science tokens that are going to be launching soon. I don't have an exact date. I reached out to ask when exactly all these pump science tokens were going to launch. I did not get a response just yet. I don't know what they're waiting for, but they are waiting patiently. It is up to pump science. Yeah, let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. First up, of course, we have to check on Bitcoin. We have to see the overall health of the crypto market before we can really get into any of the watch list coins or the altcoins. I did give you guys that watch list already in case you are just someone coming through the live stream or watching the recording. It is there in the chat, so feel free. It's also in the description of the video just in case anyone wanted it. Right now, Bitcoin is holding strong. So it's holding right at $105,000 per coin. You can see we've been trending sideways on Bitcoin for the last 2 weeks or so. I don't think this is going to end anytime soon. I do think that we will get a pretty large pullback, maybe down to test $100,000 per Bitcoin again. I have two reasons to believe that. One is that we have the Golden Cross coming up here. So the Golden Cross, for anyone who doesn't know, is when the 50-week or the 50-day moving average crosses the 200-day moving average, and that is here set to happen in a couple days. And historically, let me go ahead and remove some of the others so that you can see it easier. Historically, that has been accompanied with a sell-off. So a little bit counterintuitive to the narrative, right? A Golden Cross should be good, but generally speaking, when Bitcoin has a Golden Cross, we get a big pullback like shortly after it, right? So this one pumped into it and then had a big pullback. So maybe it'll happen again like that. But we do generally get a good size pullback whenever Golden Crosses take place. You look back here as well. Around the same time, we got that pullback, a little bit of a pullback, nothing crazy, but it is something I'm expecting. Also, a little bit of that troll line, right? Something that we look at on this channel quite substantially, or quite a bit, is the moon phases. And I know it's a meme, but it lines up perfectly almost every single time. Whenever we have a new moon, we get a bit of a pullback. And so that's something I'm expecting here. The new moon's coming up in the next week or so, and it should be a little bit of a pullback. It's funny until you look at the moon phases and actually see that they line up perfectly. A new moon equals a pullback. A full moon equals the beginning of a 2-week uptrend. It's 2-week cycles. On, off, on, off, on, off. WC90. Let's go, C90. Let's go. Thank you for the gifted. Welcome to the cult, CK Crypto. welcome. You can say W for C90. Thank you, C90, for the gifted membership. Yeah, so with those two things, and the fact that everything seems very overextended on the RSI, and just the fact that we rallied so aggressively from 75,000 all the way to 107,000, I do think that we'll get a bit of a pullback here, just probably to 100,000, right? Nothing too substantial. And then I think we're set to explode to all-time highs again and continue to the next leg up of $150,000 per coin. Should be a super exciting time in the market. Now, dominance for Bitcoin has really just been skyrocketing the last week or two. So we had that big pullback when everything looked like we were going to get another blurb in altcoin season, and then we did not come all the way back down to the 200-day moving average like we did in the last couple times that we've made good money in the altcoin market, but we did get that big sell-off. It is coming back up, and we'll see how long this sell-off lasts, or if that was it, and now we're just going to make a V-shaped recovery. But it is against us yet again. This is Bitcoin's cycle. This is the Bitcoin cycle. Everything is pointing towards stablecoins and Bitcoin. And so a lot of people, especially with how the economy has been going, are just going into the safest risk on assets. Hence why tech stocks have made such an incredible rebound. Look at Netflix. It's back up at all-time highs, crushing it. You go look at Tesla making that quick rebound. People are in the safer of the risk on assets. Hence why Ethereum is not performing as good as Bitcoin. It has still not made a new cycle top. It has still not made a new all-time high this cycle. This is kind of my expectation for Bitcoin, or for Ethereum. I think we get a bit of a choppiness here, and then an explosion upwards, and then a big choppiness before we break out to all-time highs. Hopefully, knock on wood, since most of our coins are built on top of Ethereum. Same thing with Solana. We hit that target. We did not go above the support and above the 200-day moving average, but we are finding support down here at $165. So hopefully we can get that push back up in the next leg. Above $200 on Solana, I think we see some of the altcoins going crazy. I think above $200 for Solana, and I think above $2,900 for Ethereum, we start to see some of the altcoins go nuts. And that is when I think this list will really, really excel. Really, a lot of these projects are waiting for the market to heat up. You go look at some of these pump science tokens. Look at that. These pump science tokens are starting to put in new all-time highs. So if you guys remember, this is exactly what Riff and Euro looked like. And then all of a sudden, they slowly started gaining. And next thing you know it, everyone was talking about them at $1 million, $5 million, $10 million market caps. And then they skyrocketed to 200 million plus. I don't think that that's going to be the same this cycle with the DeSci plays. I do think that 20 to 50 million is pretty expected for these. And so getting in on some of these down at 600,000 makes a lot of sense for me personally. You go look at, and this is what I can show it off and showcase that's exactly what happened. But we had a big initial burst and then dead for a couple months. Then we got that first rally upwards where people started getting in, and then it cooled off for a little bit before it just went parabolic. And so a lot of these, I think, are going through the same exact structure where we got that initial pop, sell off for a bit, and then that initial pump. Maybe we cool off here for a little bit before they absolutely skyrocket, but nonetheless, there's such small market caps. I don't think that you'll be super upset getting into any of these. And even like ones like Gossi and EGS, they're still very small compared to Arts. Yeah, you see that? Let's go to the daily so it's all equivalent exchanges of time. Yeah, look at eggs. I think EGS is going to be a winner. I think this one will be really well. And then you guys wanted me to talk about some of the other coins, the other pump science tokens that are coming. And I should pull up my list that I did a while ago. Let's go to my portfolio or my profile. I can't search my profile here, so it's going to actually be a minute of me scrolling to get all the way back to them because I made this post months ago when I thought that we were going to get that pump science rally and they were going to list all of them, but they listed a couple and then just didn't list them for a while. I heard CZ was going to gamble on these too. I mean, maybe. We'll see. Look at my quant. We'll see if CZ actually gets involved with them. We know CZ holds a lot of DeSci. We know he's super bullish on DeSci. There's no telling what he's actually hanging on to. I think they're all little lottery tickets, and I think that they are some of the best risk to rewards in the market. I forget how long ago I made it. I should search on my phone and send it in. Back in the good old days when Dynex was at 10 cents. Probably made it somewhere around here a bit. Crazy. Here we go. Here we go. So this posted really well for me actually, but here is the list. I'll send it to you guys. They copy the link and send it here. This is the list of the pump science tokens. All right. We got Berberine and Puni. This was a little while ago. This was back in February, so they might have tickers now, and there's probably some updates to it. Things have changed, but here I linked all of the accounts. That way you can go through and follow all of the ones that you want to, right? But this is a list of the, I think it's 13 pump science tokens that we'll be launching in the next couple months. Yeah, there's a lot of them, and it should be good. It should be a fun time. I should repost this so that everyone can be aware. What should I say? Pump science ecosystem is heating up lately. Here is the list I made back in February of the upcoming compounds set to launch. There we go. Go ahead and post. Should I do the tickers? Nah. Yeah, I should. Riff, Euro, Art, Gossi, EGS. Post. There we go. Let's go, baby. That was also for me, so I can see it again. You can search on desktop too. You just type in from this investor 50,000x or whatever words you remember on the post. Yeah. 50,000x. Damn. Look at C90. You remember that post verbatim. You remember that post verbatim. WC90. What about Bill being on Sol? Have you decided on that yet? No, I have not decided on that yet. Yeah, I have not decided on any of the changes to Bill or anything. We got some big orders last night. We got several $1,000s coming to Bill last night, and so that was nice. He got a nice hold the line here at 1.3 pennies per Bill. Pennies on the dollar for what Bill is headed to, but it was nice to see us hold support and then get back pushing to make some new local highs. I want to see Bill above 2.5 cents here in the short term for us to just continue this rally upwards. Yeah, I have not made any decisions on where to put Bill or the new ticker name for Bill so that we can get rid of that NI and get listed on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. No decisions have been made right now. It's just business as normal. The one when I mentioned that, I was gauging to see how everyone would respond and to see if it was something people were excited about, right? Some of you guys were excited, some of you guys were not that excited, but ultimately, I'm just continuing forward, and if we do anything, I'll keep you guys posted. Huh, he said do. That tanked the chart last time. Mods, I know. We had 1 or 2 sales. All right, let's go through some of the news, guys. Let's go through some of the news. I pulled up some of the news for you guys so that we could stay up to date on what's going on in DeSci. So right now, Accelerate Solana is going on in New York City, and there is a DeSci dedicated event happening here. Ship or Die agenda has dropped. I'm hoping that we get some good news from Pump Science at this event because I know that Molecule and everyone is attending this event, a whole entire DeSci event at Solana Conference. Join us Tuesday, May 20th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. for the Solana DeSci Fair. So anyone who's in New York, I would attend this because there's going to be some good live demos and study drops from Pump Science, Bioprotocol, VitaDAO, and Rare Diseases, SpineDAO, and more. So a lot of good news is going to be coming out of this event here today. I would keep everyone focused and on task here. I want to see what happens. I want to see as much as possible. Patrick trying not to dump the price. I know, I don't want the price to dump. We're holding sturdy. I don't want to see anything bad happen to the coin, right? I don't want to see anything bad happen there. But this should be good. We should get some good news. I heard word on the street was that they were going to give us some updates on the Pump Science tokens at this event. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen because I also heard the same kind of word on the street and that same kind of buzz about the DeSci Dubai, right? The Token 2049 event in Dubai that happened, but we did not end up getting any updates out of that. So just keep you guys posted. We also have a new raise going on. Phase 2 of the Diabetes DAO token community sale is live. It is on Juicebox. Let's see how they are doing today. How many of you guys can get some ones in the chat if you guys partook in this yet, and some zeros in the chat if you guys did not partake in this sale. Currently 1 ETH equals 828,000 tokens, and they've raised a total of $211,000, aka 85 Ethereum. There's been some good payouts going in the last few hours. Oh wait, these are 3 months ago. So there's only been two things in this. Is there? No, maybe there has been none. I don't think anyone partook yet. It's what happens when you try and raise twice. Just take what you get in the first round and go with it. That's the one thing I've learned from all of this. 35% for the community sale, currently split at 210,000. So multiply that by around 3 to get a market cap of 600,000 right now, which is kind of in line with some of the others out there. Anywhere from 500,000 up to 5 million, a lot of these projects are hovering at right now. So we'll see what ends up happening through the end of this. Only be open for 30 minutes. Oh, so it already closed then, yeah? That was a quick one. That was a very quick one then. Oh well. Still waiting for Aleta to launch their token. I know. That's the problem. Not necessarily saying it's a problem, but that's the case with not super Web3 native companies and projects, is that they raise the money and then don't immediately launch the token. It's best to get the token out there. It's better not to just take people's money and then sit on it. You need to get things moving. Otherwise, people start getting salty. And I'm seeing that a little bit with Aleta. I think that they're solid. It's a good team, and I like their mission of trying to help with some mental diseases, mental illnesses, get some new medications out there that are more customizable and everything. But yeah, any news on Nerd Bunny? I've not heard anything about Nerd Bunny yet. No. Some news on Valley Dow though. They just partnered with Juniper. So Juniper being a pretty good climate strategist biotech, climate biotech VC. This is a signal that DeSci is maturing. So Valley Dow raised, I think, $100,000. Yeah, they secured 100 grand from Juniper. So that's pretty cool. It's getting entrenched in TradSci. Muscle says it's tomorrow. What is tomorrow? Can we get some context to that, please? Juniper gets Valley Dow. So Valley Dow isn't just another DeSci company. It's not just another crypto project. We're building a decentralized engine for scientific innovation in climate biotech. And Juniper brings deep expertise and shared values to help us scale that mission. So it's good. It's really like a stamp of approval, right? 100 grand is a good amount of money and it'll do some good. It'll fund some projects and get the ball rolling a little bit more. It's always good to raise money. The better thing in this is the partnership, right? Is the recognition, I should say, rather than partnership. The recognition from a TradSci company that is already embedded with a bunch of connections. Getting that recognition is good for the entire space. Next up, we have Curetopia. Curetopia doing a quick little post here on why yeast. Why are they studying effects in yeast? And you can go through and read the entire breakdown if you want, but it turns out that humble organisms, aka yeast, is a powerhouse for biotech innovation. Yeast grows fast and genetically traceable, and has been used for decades in fundamental biology. Even more compelling, many human genes have yeast or orthologs. They share a common ancestral versions that perform similar functions, especially those involved in basic cellular machinery like protein synthesis. Curetopia and Perlara are leveraging temperature-sensitive yeast strains to study ARS shortcomings in both the cytoplasmic and mitochondrial contexts. So basically, yeast has a short lifespan, so you can see effects really quickly. And yeast has a lot of the same protein structures that we do, so you get to actually see the direct implications of certain treatments. So that's why they are using yeast. In my interview with Ethan from Curetopia, we got into that quite a bit actually. So if you haven't seen that video, you definitely should. It's a good video. It's a pretty long video, but it is a worthwhile video, IMO. Next up, we got an update from Pump Science. Just Art leading the race. Gossie's second. Who will be the Max Verflappen? I don't know what that means, but bullish on them for doing what they do best. They did some fly racing, which is kind of funny. They're trying to gamify the whole thing, and I think it's a W. I really like what they're doing. It's just community building. Getting a lot of people like Cyrus here and like Winos to just stay involved and stay active in the community, right? And you guys know community is everything to me. Next up, we have a post from Genomes DAO here talking about a partnership with Gene Linux, allowing you to better understand your health. So they're doing an X Space here tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. GMT +1. I don't know what time that is in Eastern Standard, but you can set your reminders to the space if you want to be there. 5 a.m. tomorrow. I will not be attending that space, but it's good to know. If any of you guys attend, I would love to hear some information on it. And yeah, there you go. You have the news from this investor. Let me take a sip of my water. I got a little bit of a headache going on. A lot of people hanging on to a lot of Bitcoin here. Total ETFs combined at 1.18 million Bitcoin held in ETFs. 152,000 held by Robinhood. Look at this. We got Grayscale almost at 1% of total supply. Same with Fidelity. The US government almost at 1% of the supply. The US government holds almost 1% of Bitcoin. That's pretty cool. We got Binance sitting up at 3% of Bitcoin. We got Satoshi sitting up here at, what is that, like 5% of Bitcoin supply held by Satoshi. Crazy numbers here. It's tomorrow. Okay, that's why nothing happened then. I thought that it was in 30 minutes, so I just skimmed the post and read it wrong. So the diabetes presale will be tomorrow then. Everyone stay tuned. Everyone stay tuned. Yeah, see, I saw this and I thought it was in 30 minutes, but it starts tomorrow. All right. I bought a D-pin dash cam in January, and I'm still waiting on it. It's a horrible idea to sit on customer funds. I know. I bought a D-pin dash cam in over a year ago, and I never ended up getting it. And I don't think I got my funds refunded. I think I didn't do something to get my funds back, so they just stole my money. Absolutely crazy. Maybe it's sitting out there somewhere and I just need to look into it, but I don't really care to go get it just because I feel like it's going to be a lot of work to get the funds back. It was like a $600 dash cam though, so I just wasted hundreds of dollars for no real reason. I should go through and clean up everything like that. It'd help with my taxes, but I just took the write-off, honestly. All right, what do you guys want to chat about now? Because those are the updates. That is the watch list. Hive Mapper, yeah. I know that it's somewhere. I just don't care to go through it all. I want to look at Isaac. Isaac kind of crashed out on X the other day. I tagged him in something about his token, and he responded a bunch of times saying he has no token. And then I saw all the messages getting deleted. So I think the devs saw that he was like, the bot was crashing out saying, I don't have a token. Stop saying I have a token. You guys are idiots. And then he deleted all of those messages because he does in fact have a token. But the token is how you pay for services, right? You use 40 tokens to pay for services. So it's really cheap, but it's cool. I like it. I have a weird feeling about it, just based off of all the activity in the Telegram chat and based off of how many people already follow and are privy to Isaac. I feel like this is going to be a banger. A $1.4 million market cap, it's very small already. So I went ahead and scooped up a bag of it. Not the biggest bag, but a bag. Yeah, there we go. Same kind of feeling with Hempy. I know Hempy's going to do good. We got another scam comment. Actually, no, that was a real comment. Someone said, stop conflating quantum computing with Gen AI. I think Gen AI happens on quantum computing, so I'm not conflating them. Gotta swim, riff the sharks. W. You also had 0 addresses for many years. What does that mean? What's good about EGS? It's just starting to run a bit. EGS is starting to run a bit. So it's the pump science tokens. So they're just starting to catch a bid here. I don't know if there's anything good or bad. They're just starting to catch a bid. One of them that the dev reached out to me. This one. The dev is trying to, he tried to launch back in April, and I think Pump Science stopped it. So I think this is one of the next ones to launch on Pump Science. And they are excited to go. The dev is very well put together. He made some group chats with people to try and get everything squared away, and we're just waiting patiently. He said that he doesn't want to get everyone excited again like he did here, only to not have it launch. So he's like just staying silently, and then I think it's just going to launch. When it's time, I think he's just going to send it. Another one not related to crypto, quantum computing. Do you know about it? Wild Africa, we talk about quantum computing all the time. All the time. I'll send you guys this one because I would keep an eye on it. I have a strong feeling it'll perform good because I've had a couple conversations now with the dev. So I'm going to be waiting patiently for it. And hopefully it does that staple pop, drop, and lock it so we can get in when it locks, and then we catch that good rip. I mean, look at this. If you got in, even if you didn't get a good timing, you thought this was the lock, you had to hold for 2 months, but now you're up 250%, close to it, right? So these patterns are very beautiful when they do play out like this. Same with Riff. We finally got that lock, and hopefully here, I think after Riff gets above a penny again, it's going to start moving quick. I think it'll be a very quick move when it gets above a penny again. You got to remember, in a single day, Riff, in a single 3-day period rather, Riff went from the price it is right now to 250 million. So when these things move, they will move. In 3-day period, it went up 6,500%. So I don't think it'll happen exactly the same as that, but I do think a slow grind up to 100 million or a slow grind up to like 50 million or whatever, and then it rips up quickly. You never know. You never know. I feel like my brain is lagging behind. Also, it's my mom's birthday today, so W mom. W mom. Quantum computing stock. Yes. We'll go back to D-Wave. We'll go back to D-Wave. D-Wave should have been buying up like crazy. Back here, when we were getting into Dynex, we should have been buying a ton of D-Wave too, just to kind of offset the crypto risk, right? Because D-Wave is performing super well. Super well. What are some of the other quantum computing ones? Let's go to CoinGecko. See that DeSci is down 1.1%. Let's go look at some of the other quantum computing coins. I don't see it as a whole industry, but we got quantum biology. You guys know that one pretty good. We got quantum resistant ledger suffering pretty dramatically. Yeah, look at that. The pain in these quantum ones. People just don't see the value proposition yet. Why is Sneck on the top? Happy birthday to Patrick's mom. W. Cubic's one. I don't know many quantum computing stocks though. Cubic down so bad. Let's look them up. Actually, I think I had a conversation with ChatGPT where he gave me some good quantum computing stocks. Oh yeah, IonQ. IonQ. Doing good today, doing good. From the lows, it's up 85%. Same structure as D-Wave. Had a big rally, pullback, going into the next rally. This pullback was from Jensen, the CEO of NVIDIA, saying quantum computing was way too far out, and then continued to host a quantum day at the NVIDIA AI conference. So clearly not, he wanted to catch up. He needed to understand. IBM's putting in work. NVIDIA is a good one for it anyways. But IBM be putting in a lot of work. Same with Google. Microsoft. QUBT. QUBT. Quantum computing. Oh, it's literally just called quantum computing. $1.7 billion market cap, which is again why I think that Dynex is going to be sending upwards over $1 billion. You go look at quantum computing, all the quantum stocks are well above $1 billion, which leads me to believe that Dynex has a good opportunity to get above $1 billion if it ever stops bleeding, which it will eventually stop bleeding. But right now, it looks like the most aggressive downtrend I've seen. It's still above this downtrend line, but if it doesn't bounce here, we're cooked. Not really cooked, but I think we break down to like 1.5 cents, which would suck. It continues to baffle my mind. Continues to baffle me. How it was holding up so good for so long and then was just like, prrr. Oh well. One thing that I do want to get Happy birthday, MOM of Mom, of Patrick. Bullish. One thing I do want, right, as we start scaling, like, how do I say this? I've already expressed it to you guys that I think that this next leg is the last leg for crypto, right? We go to the total. This next leg, I think, will be the last leg for crypto. I think it'll be an explosive rally, but I think that we go into this circle and then that's kind of it for the end of the year. And so now is the time to start looking at different stocks to parlay into, because you're going to want to take and put some of the newfound wealth that you've gained into more stable environments, right? And then of course you can cycle back in after we go through another cycle. But in my opinion, you want to start studying up on some stocks you want to be in. Even if it's just indexes, do what you want, but you got to diversify a little bit. My golden take is 50-50 stocks crypto. I feel like we've covered just about everything that I intended on covering in this live stream. I'm down to hang out and just kind of like look at some more stuff if you guys want to keep looking at stuff, or we can just depart and go our separate ways. Do an early live stream and I can get back to work. I mean, yeah, this is like a fun, nice break for me. UNH. UNH is one that absolutely got pummeled. So UNH is one of the largest healthcare providers in the United States, right? And we just saw their stock fall 60%. And now this was down here like a $200 billion market cap. And so it fell from like 600, 700 billion down to 200 billion. It was absolutely devastating for the people who held, because you go look on a monthly time frame and it wiped out all the gains from 2018 onwards. You could have picked up this stock for the same price in 2018. Now you gotta hold it to them that it doesn't usually get much worse than that. And I honestly think if you could have timed the bottom, you would have done really well on it. UNH, you zoom out 10 years, is UNH doing better than it is now? Probably. So buying during massive collapses in stocks like this generally is a good idea. The only thing I will say is that you don't want it to turn into the next Boeing, where it had a massive capitulation, right? How many of you guys were investing in trading during this? Boeing fell 75% and has still not yet recovered. Now, maybe it will, right? Maybe Boeing will be able to recover eventually, and it just took years to kind of find that floor and find its new norm. But if you had bought at any point during Boeing's collapse here, you're still not really making any good money. You can build out a really strong position so that in 10 years, in the next 5,000 days, you get some good 300, 400% gains, but there's no telling what will happen. So that's why I saw it and I wanted to scoop up a bag of UNH, but I was not super in a rush for it. Anyone who played some options on it probably made killer money, because it's been rebounding pretty aggressively here, right? From the lows upwards, 30% is a big move for a company like UNH, but it's still, as far as I see it, in free fall territory. 9 trillion by end of year would be an insane rip. Absolutely. For the total market cap of crypto, it would be a crazy rip. I hope it happens. I hope it happens. Boeing will recover. It's too big. It just had so many issues, right? It had so many issues. And the same thing happened with UNH. They went through a period where revenue was slowing down a bit. Growth was slowing down. And then all of a sudden, their CEO stepped down. And then all of a sudden, they got hit with a ton of lawsuits from the US government and shit. Like, this was a perfect storm to just capitulate UNH. And now if the new CEO can get their act together, then it will perform really well. And this was a golden buy opportunity, but it's too early to tell. Let's go back to total crypto. Because if we are to maintain, right, 9 trillion by end of the year, I think, was my initial target for it, for total crypto market cap. And I hope that we still get up there. I wanted to touch 10 trillion, right? I hope that we can still see that crazy euphoric rally. But if we are to assume that we're just going to continue the same little trend that we've been in here, where's the bar pattern? If we're to assume that we follow a similar trend like this and we stay range bound, like, we probably won't end up seeing that crazy rally, right? But maybe if we get another leg afterwards, according to this chart, at least according to this trend, we'd have to be at the top of the channel in the end of 2026, right? For us to see $10 trillion market cap. So it might not happen this cycle. It might take next cycle. Ready for Bill to be at 50 cents. You damn right. The Dynex chart has a descending triangle pattern forming on the daily. The fuck? I get that TA isn't reliable, particularly on low cap coins, but it's looking like the price will drop close to 1 penny. I hope not. 100 trillion. Let's go, Wild Africa. Let's go. Yeah. 1 penny would be miserable. According to my stuff, according to this trend line here, we're headed to 1 penny by the end of June if we don't get a bounce, if we don't get a reversal. It's still in that lock phase, or that drop phase. So unless we get that lock at some point, 1 penny is coming. I will say that we're finally, on the daily chart, we are finally starting to get that divergence in the RSI. You see this? In the daily chart, we're getting the RSI climbing up while the coin price is still going down. So it is good signs for a reversal to happen. And it is such a small market cap that really, at any moment, it could just skyrocket up and break the trend and get that reversal. But right now, we haven't seen it happen. How long do you think Bitcoin goes sideways? I think we get about a week and a half of sideways Bitcoin before we get that push to all-time highs. So a week and a half more, I should say. I think it'll end up looking like this, right? Where we get a quick little snap down in the next 10 days or so, and then we get a good rally upwards. What's a good pattern to show here? I think it's gonna look something like this, right? I think the next section for Bitcoin looks something like this. And then we might chop here, / get another big pullback. LFG. Valley Dow is going to try and make infant formula closer to real breast milk. After the Cacao Zero project, the fats and lipids they are working on are similar to the Cacao Zero project. Bullish. Let's go. Valley Dow is a really, really good one. Valley Dow is a super strong project with some good IP tokens that keep coming out of it. So I hope that they perform crazy. I hope that they continue to put in some of that aggressive work and get some good price action out of the coin. I know fundamentally they're going to continue to grow and be strong. And that's the good part about DeSci, is that even when price doesn't look that great, you know that they're continuing to work. You know that this is their life mission and they're going to continue within the confinements of academia. So that it should give people good peace of mind, right? Yeah. I'm so hungry, guys. I am so hungry. I do think we need, on Bitcoin, a bit of an RSI reset, which is why I'm hoping we get that good size pullback, right? Like one of these, where our RSI just comes down enough that we can get a crazy push to overextended. I hope that that happens here so that we can continue a healthy rally. I'm gonna delete this. I was having fun playing with expectations. How's Ondo doing? Ondo's holding up nice. All right. Okay, Ondo. We got that strong area here. Or I think it's in here, right? Yeah. Rectangle. Right in this area has been a strong area of congestion. So honestly, I think it might even be able to do a rectangle that is ascending. Ah, that's not what I wanted. Bullish. There you go. It's good enough. You guys see it. You guys get what I'm trying to draw here. A nice strong chart pattern here. Ondo already huge, but I think a very safe bet. I do think we'll see it putting in all-time highs again here very shortly, which is a solid 150% gains from here on it. Now, you guys know I'm very degen with what I want, which is why I'm in so many of these micro caps here, which is why I'm in so many of them. I think that they'll do really, really well. I'm stupid. I bought Ondo at 6 cents and sold 60 cents. Welcome to crypto. The only place where people making 1,000% gains call it stupid. Bruh, that is an amazing return. You made 1,000, you added a zero to whatever you put into it. You tossed in 500 bucks, you pulled out $5,000. That's crazy good returns. That's crazy good. Pat yourself on the back. That is really good. Did you see Dynex's updated roadmap? I did. Let's actually go to it. It was crazy long. Crazy long. That's not what it was that I wanted. Where was the roadmap? I saw it. I read through it. I just don't remember. We need to send some Dynex to mom for her birthday. Something has got to change price action. I know. She actually has a really good track record for when she puts money into stuff. It's like she's she's got like a decently sized portfolio that she's built over the last 7 years that I've been getting her to invest. And like she keeps finding these random little companies, like altcoin companies, and she'll put like 20 bucks into them. And I'm like, okay, like have fun with your gamble. And then she'll send me a screenshot and it'll be up to like 100 bucks. And she's like, yay. And I'm like, what the hell? Why do you like, how do you keep getting these little mini 5Xs like in stocks? That's crazy. I'm like, where'd you even find that? And she's like, I don't know. I just heard it on the radio. And so I put money into it. I'm like, okay, you keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. She doesn't really do crypto that much, but she's got a big bag of Ethereum, a nice bag of Bitcoin, a little bag of Solana, Chainlink, and Bill. Those are her 5 coins. Today's your mom's birthday too? That's crazy, C90, that's crazy. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Does someone have a link to the Dynex roadmap so we can check it out? Yeah, wait, happy birthday C90's mom. HB day. This was from days ago. Oh, these are old. Patrick's mom is secret quant. She's just got that don't overcomplicate it gene. She's just like, yeah, whatever. Was your mom born in Detroit? Are we brothers? Imagine. No, she was not born in Detroit. Imagine though. That'd be the craziest timeline. How is Claw doing? Not great. There were some others here. I think there's some that are gone now because they didn't have enough trading volume. Like Forge, I think. Forge was one on this list, I thought. But yeah. All right, guys. I think I'm going to call it. I'm going to go get some food and then start continuing on with my work. So today's main focus, going to be getting Bill access to CoinGecko's price history so he can go get some older price history and not just the current in the moment price, because everyone keeps asking him for price history stuff or top movers and stuff like that, and he just doesn't have that capability. So rather than continue to fight everyone and say he can't do that, let's just go pay for it and make it so he can do it. I have to go install CoinGecko APIs. Your time is your most valuable asset. Hopefully this was worth investing it into. I appreciate you guys being here, and I will see you all tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to talk about decentralized science and the broader crypto markets. All right, guys. Peace.